I do think I did a pinch harmonic. Oh, good lord, sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Microphone. I'm Reid, and that was the riff from my track Grand Champ. It's one of my latest singles off my album Terran, which is coming out November 25th. So today I'm going to be teaching you this riff and breaking down all the little technical bits. I hope you guys have as much fun as I do playing it. Yeah. So joking aside, it is a bit of a difficult riff, so bear with me. I'm going to try and break it down really slowly. If it's too slow, feel free to speed up the video. YouTube gives you that function. 1.25, 1.5. After that, I don't know if the audio still works. I might just sound like a chipmunk. Doesn't really matter. But yeah, so I'm breaking it down. Starting on the 24th fret on the A string. I'm tuned to B standard, by the way, so that's low B on the 7th string and then just standard for the rest. And theoretically, you could play this riff on a 6th string. It'll just not sound as cool. So good luck. Yeah, so I hammer on with my finger, my right hand, and that's actually called tapping, not hammering on. And I'm playing the 24th fret, and I'm going to pull off to the 12th fret on the A. Then I'm going to pull off to 0. So it's like 3 octaves. Yeah? Then from there, I'm going to hammer onto the 12th fret. Then I'm going to play, I'm going to tap the 24th fret again. But this time I'm going to pull off to the 13th fret. Yeah? Then I'm going to play the open B string as hard as I can. Yeah? Get like a nice big ringing out B string. And then that's followed by 2 downstroke chugs with palm muted on the open B string. That was a lot of words to explain a simple thing, but just like that. Yeah? So it's like 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, palm muted, and then I'm gonna whack the B string again with an upstroke. Yeah, so that's kind of like the metal triplet, but instead of just doing down, up, down, it's down, up, down, upstroke. Then the next part of the riff is a kind of like a trilly type thing with jumping and less picking, so there's a lot of hammering on and pulling off. Honestly, this makes a great riff. I have some tracks with Bloodshot Dawn that I just use this technique and just move it around, and it's a pretty cool riff by itself. So I'll teach this to you. It's 7, 8, 7, pull off. That's what the left hand is doing. And I'm going to just play, I'm going to pick one time. And then after I pull off to the open string, I'm actually going to pick a chug, kind of downstroke. Just one of them, though. Yeah, so I'm going to do a open string downstroke with mute. Then the next note I'm going to do is I'm going to do an upstroke again, and that's going to start the next part of the riff. So it's like... And honestly, that chug is so fast you can barely tell it's there, but it has a kind of, it gives it like a bit of a bouncy feel to the riff. So 7, 8, 7, open, downstroke. Upstroke for the first note here, and that's going to be 6, 7, 6, open. Then again, a downstroke, and then we're going to come up here and we're going to play 11, 12, 11. And that will also be with an upstroke because you just finished with that chug. But this time after this, you don't want to do the chug. You actually want to hammer on from nowhere and play the 12th fret and give it a little bend and a pull off to 0. So it's like... Out of context, it's a bit awkward, but it's like... You're kind of like bending it, pulling off. Then in the same tempo, you're going to play the 24th fret on the low B, and you're going to pull off... and you're going to actually just try and pull off all the way to 0, but because you need to use this left hand to help you get a nice clean and big bend. It can kind of sound like the 12th fret rings out for a second. If that happens, it's not a big deal. It's so fast anyway. Like that. Then we're going to do that same pattern again, which is 2 downstrokes, like 2 chugs and a triplet. And we're going to do that a couple times in the riff in general, so it's good to practice that. But this time, instead of playing just an upstroke after, we're actually going to do a kind of pre-bend on the 1st fret of the B. So it's like... and what I say by pre-bend is you're trying to bend the note before you play it, and then you bend out of it back down to the original pitch. Yeah, and that's it. And then from there, you're going to play the open E and hammer onto the 3rd fret. Then you're going to play the open B and hammer onto the 1st fret. And then you're going to slide into the 6th fret. Don't get too comfortable, because right after this you have to do a really fast arpeggio. And the reason why I slide here is to set myself up for the next picking pattern, which is probably the most difficult part of the riff, believe it or not. I don't know why it's so difficult, but it just is. I guess because, like, you could also slide, play the first note with a downstroke, but it confuses things a little bit. I prefer to do just like that. So you kind of start on a downstroke on the 7th fret of the E, then you play an upstroke on the 8th fret of the A, and a downstroke on the 6th fret of the D. And that sets you up for an upstroke to play this chord. And that's just moving these 2 notes down. So that's 7, 7, 5. Before it was 7, 8, 6, and 7, 7, 5. Yeah, so it's like, and that's like an arpeggio, down, up, down. And then you're going to try and play all 3 notes together to ring out that minor shape. I guess it's like an E minor inversion. Yeah. Then we're going to play 1, 2, 3 here. And that's like the next chord. So you just move down to the 6th fret of the A, 4th fret of the D. And yeah, you just do a couple like kind of muted chugs, 1, 2, 3 triplet. Then you're gonna play an upstroke to let the chord ring out, and that's those 2 notes plus the open G. And then right after that, you add the 5th fret of the G. And yeah, you actually want to slide down so you can get ready for this next part of the riff, which is actually the second part. So it's pretty much exactly the same. You're going to play the 24th fret on the E, pull off to the 12, pull off to 0, hammer on back onto 12. Then you're going to tap the 24th fret again, pull off to 13, pull off to 0, hammer on back onto 13. But this time, because I don't have the low octave of the E, you know, if I'm not playing an 8th string right now, you're just going to pick the open E after doing that. So yeah. So then we're going to do our favorite pattern, which is the 2 downstrokes followed by the triplet. And then this time we're actually going to play the open string. But let me just play it one time so you can hear it. So 0, 1, 4 on the E. Then we're going to play the open A string and hammer onto the 2nd fret. Then we're going to play the 4th fret on the E, and we're going to slide into the 7th fret of the E, which is the same note. Then we do like a little trill, and that's 4, 7, 4, 0 of the E. We play the flat 5 of that shape, and that's going to be like the 5th fret of the A, followed by the 4th fret of the E. So you get a nice little dissonant chord. Then you're going to play the 4th fret on the low B, followed by the 4th, 5th, and 7th on the E. Then we're going to slide into the 7th fret, hammer onto 8, pull off to 7, pull off to 5. Yeah? Then we're going to play the 7th fret on the E, followed by the 8th fret on the A, and 9th fret on the D. Stacking that flat 5. So we're going to play the 12th fret of the D 3 times, followed by the 11th fret of the A 3 times. And just to get an idea, later on in the track, we play this riff again, if you're trying to learn those parts as well. And you're just kind of giving that... It's like those flat 5 chords moving up in minor thirds is very brutal sounding. In this case, it's so short, so you don't really notice, but yeah. That comes later. So that's actually the end of the riff there. It essentially repeats, and the second time, instead of sliding, this is the same, but instead of sliding to the 7th fret, you're going to slide into the 10th fret. Yeah, so you slide into the 10th fret on the A, hammer onto 11, pull off to 10, pull off to 8. Then this time we're going to play the 10th fret, slide into the 11th fret, then let it ring out as we play the 10th fret on the D and the 12th fret on the G. And slide off of it for the chorus. So I hope you learned something with that riff. It's a little bit complicated, and it probably took a little bit too long to teach, but I feel like if you just get the tab for something like this, you can figure out how to play it in your own way, but I just wanted to show you guys really how I do play it myself, because there are a lot of nuances with the picking. And something that I wouldn't underestimate is just how much power you kind of want to get from the right hand. So even if it looks like small movements, you're trying to really dig into the strings. And that's something that I like to do a lot in my riffing. Just, you know, the riffs are the base of the song. And yeah, they just bring the context and everything. And all the soloing and stuff that I've done, especially in this song, was very much like after the fact. So I built the song around the riffs. And the chorus melody came very quickly after writing the chorus section, but that's a very simple chord progression. Yeah, so one more time, up to speed. Here it goes. I do think I did a pinch harmonic. Oh, good lord, sorry. So that was a lesson. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you got something out of it. Feel free to use this stuff in your own playing, and just be experimental with it. You know, there's some little techniques, some little nuances that you can really just like reuse in a totally different way, and I think it would sound very different anyway. And I just wanted to, you know, give you guys something useful. I feel like I just keep taking and taking, never giving back. So here I am, teaching a riff. If you do want to learn some solos, however, I do have a pack out with JTC called Relentless Shred, and you can learn 5 solos for my album, so it's pretty sweet. There's a lot more detail, there's tabs, so you don't have to toil and like pause the video and try and look at my fingers like, what is he doing, bro? Although YouTube does have that speed up function or whatever, and slow down function, so that's kind of more useful than when I was learning, at least. Reaching boomer age, like I'm a dad, bro. What am I even doing trying to make metal? Anyways, you can pre-order my album now and support my family. Okay, I'm just kidding.